Now an update on the rising number of migrants trying to cross the southern border. U.S. officials say they're overwhelmed by the thousands of people a day waiting to get in or finding a way to cross over illegally.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly.
It's something I'm very proud of. African American unemployment stands at the lowest rate ever recorded. Hispanic American unemployment has also reached the lowest levels in history.
Glad you all in that chair.
No Republican president who has been as overt on race since Herbert Hoover, who led the Lily White movement when he was president. That's what you're dealing with here. This is a president who knows this game and who is playing it. It is a dangerous game. And when you have a governor of Massachusetts, call it shameful, despicable. But when you have Republican Will Hurd of Texas, the only black Republican in the House, vote with Democrats. When you have a former top judge in Texas, a Latina, who says his ideology is racism, you cannot ignore this reality. What's even more shameful, not only to see Republicans being afraid, to see white conservative evangelicals say nothing. Franklin Graham, silent. Pastor Paula White, silent. Robert Jeffers defends it. When you see Ralph Reed, silent. Tony Perkins, silent. These are if you read Frederick Douglass's speech, what is the 4th of July mean to the slave? His most condemnation was for white Christians.
Pursuing a damaging and erratic trade war without any strategy, by the way. This guy is moving to just foment hate. Well, President Trump and the demagogues around the world, if Donald Trump is reelected, he doesn't want to shed light. He wants to generate heat. He's stroking violence in our cities.
I'm asking for the vote of every single African American citizen in this country who wants to see a better future. Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following. What do you have to lose by trying something new like Trump? What do you have to lose? I say it again, what do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty, your schools are no good, you have no jobs, 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose?
But this is not a game. And don't forget, Donald Trump's entire political career was founded on the racist birther lie that Barack Obama was not born in this country. A lie that he reportedly still believes. All that probably explains why the president has failed to condemn Roseanne's tweet. And instead, sent Sarah Sanders out to double down today.
When you think about it.
You know, the rapidly rising I don't know. I just spoke at Dartmouth on healthcare at the medical school, or not. I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the. I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on the campus.
Donald Trump has decided that he is going to run a blatantly racist campaign. He is counting on American people to be that bigoted, and he's trying to energize that base. Because you've got to ask yourself, first of all, it is the typical playbook to call civil rights guys conmen. J. Goovy said about Martin Luther King, and none of us will be a Martin Luther King. I mean, that's right out of the playbook. You don't belong in the field if you're not going to be called that. And to say that you hate whites and cops. Well, then why did he call me and ask me to come to the White House several times since he's been president and come to my National Action Network convention, which I released the photos? He's been there 2 or 3 times. I mean, you really go and support guys that you believe that? He doesn't believe that. He's playing on what he hopes is the racial ignorance of a lot of Americans that he calls his base. Now, I think he is racist because he's comfortable in doing that, because you'd have to be racist to be comfortable.
This president deserves the support of the black community because he's earned it.
There is a silent majority of us that see you, see what you're doing, see what you did for HBCU schools. That was actually the deal for us.
I wager to say that there is no American president since Lincoln that has had the impact for black America that President Trump has had.
Joe Biden supported the crime bill in '94.
He has imprisoned black America, basically.
Trump supported the NAACP and black youth like myself in '87.
He's a businessman. He's bringing businesses back into America.
Bringing jobs back.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run. Come on. Take a look at the record.
No, I've been critical of you. I have a few things I want to talk to you about today.
I know you have. Yeah. You don't know me.
No, I don't. That's why I want to get to know you today.
Tonight, y'all the reason we keep pushing. Keep on talking. We like it.
These people keep talking about me, but I don't care what they say. These people keep talking about me, but I don't care what they say. They talking about, they hating on, they want to see me fall. These people keep talking about me, but I don't care what they say.
K, Paso, Mufaso, welcome. You are on Life's a Movie. Guess what? I am your not so humble host, Walt Diddy. Got a great show for you. Got a great show for you tonight. By now, you should be wondering, what you talking about, Walt Diddy? We're going to talk about Super Bowl politics. How Robert F. Kennedy Jr. flopped. Joe Biden flopped. And Dora the Explorer took over. And we're going to get into some political conversation that you may find interested. Do me that favor. Come on in, and like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell or the notification bell. It just may hit you. We don't want that to happen. As we do on this channel, when you come in, here are the rules. You come in, I greet you as such, like, what's up, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights? Good to see you here, sir. I welcome you in. We cover a few stories that you may not be aware of. Then we get into the meat and potatoes of said conversation. And I usually do it under about an hour and a half. Usually about an hour of fun times. So without further ado, let's get into our first story that you may or may not be aware of, depending on your level of awareness. Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, did you know this? As a matter of fact, here's a quick disclaimer before we get into the news. Leave your thoughts, your comments, but I'm not going to get into a back and forth with you in the comment section about your political beliefs. Believe what you want to believe. You're welcome to comment, have a conversation in the chat, but let's keep it as YouTube friendly as possible. Just want to get that disclaimer out. And if you're wondering what you talking about, Walt Diddy, we're going to be talking about this story right here. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And here are, ladies and gentlemen, 13 awkward and surprising things that went down during Super Bowl yesterday. Were you aware of the Super Bowl yesterday? And since I don't read Roman numerals so well, is that like 53? Who knows these things? Who knows these things? But there are the love bugs right there. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. Unfortunately, they're not together in that pick. But let's get into the first one. Number one is Donna Kelce, Travis's mom, was caught on camera sitting in the arena alone before the big game. Evidently, mom wanted to get there just a little bit early to let her baby boo know she's there for him. And as we can see, she's in said stadium with said cell phone out, texting away. And it appears she is 1 hour, 30 minutes early. No one else is there yet. They're still out listening to watching Ice Spice shake her derriere. I'm just saying. But number one is Travis Kelce's mom, as we can see, right there doing her thing on said cell phone. No one else is there. How the hell did she get in so early? Who knows these things? The power of Swiftie Nation, I would presume. Number two is Rob Gronkowski. Rob knows his way around Super Bowl championships, but he doesn't know his way around winning someone some money, evidently. Number two is Rob Gronkowski missed a 25-yard field goal kick for a fan duel promotion again. Again means it's happened before, and you get the point. Let's see what happens in said information here. There's Rob, has on uniform, looks a little tight on him. It does not matter because he's Rob Gronkowski. He's looking at the kick. He hits his kick. Some lucky fan wins some moolah, money, dineros, dollar bills. Let's see how Rob does. There's Rob. He's looking like, wow, it's a straight on kick. Wide right. Wide right. Yes, I think we missed that moment because I didn't even watch the Super Bowl. I did not watch that Super Bowl. Let's go on to the next one. Number 3. This is for you in Swiftie Nation because you have to be represented your own. We know you're your own demographic this day and time. Number 3 is Taylor Swift and Blake Lively. Work hard on camera, swaying to the beat of Post Malone. Take on America the Beautiful. Here's a disclaimer. The national anthems do not sound the same. Let's play a band. Let the band play the national anthem. You can't mess that up. And the halftime shows, I don't know where we're going with that. But this takes the cake when we let Post Malone sing America the Beautiful. We know that's only sung by Ray Charles. And Post Malone, I thought he was a rapper. Who knows these things? But number 3 on the list is Taylor Swift and Blake Lively swaying to one Post Malone singing America the Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Oh, you know how Ray used to sing it. But there's Taylor Swift that represents not only Swiftie Nation, but a voting demographic that one Joe Biden is pretty much begging for. But, oh, look, Swiftie Nation is in said house. They always make a list. Moving right along, I find this one to be disturbing for the chocolate delegation, not because I personally care, but I know we get triggered really quickly. Number 4 on the list, ladies and gentlemen, is after Andrea Day performed Lift Every Voice and Sing, one of the commentators announced that they were going to celebrate America after coming back from commercial. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. I no longer watch professional sports. I don't believe my eyes, and I don't need all this. I can study politics myself. That said, number 4 on the list is the chocolate delegation, African Americans, anyone that is very, very dark. After Andrea Day performed Lift Every Voice and Sing, one of the commentators announced that they were going to celebrate America after coming back from the commercial. Said Chocolate Sister says here in a tweet from X. Andrea performed Lift Every Voice and Sing, and they said, when we come back from commercial, we will celebrate America. You see how they be playing in our face. Listen, Miss Candace, do you know who they are? They are your favorite liberals that own the place. Candace. Do you know Jigga, Jay-Z, Hova is over the halftime celebrations and all these things? Talking to the wrong person, said commentator. He or she is just reading the script. Sorry, ma'am. Moving right along with 13 things that you probably missed about the Super Bowl. And Candace right now, sorry, babe. Number 5. That deserves highlighting. Number 5 on the list is there was a weird ad about Jesus washing feet. Jesus washing feet. See, this is why I don't watch Super Bowls and these things anymore. Makes no sense. Let's see what we can make any sense out of Jesus washing feet. There are some vanilla delegation at home, and we're going to let this play to see what happens. There we go. Policeman washing what appears to be a colored person. Let's see here. Yes, that is from the chocolate delegation in said hood, washing his feet with a bottle of Aquafina. because we're not going to waste good water. There we are in a shopping mall. Nope, sir, excuse me. I am wrong. That looks like a high school hallway in front of the trophy case, and she's getting her feet washed, and I'm sure that water is going to run into the books that are behind her and or on the homie that we can clearly see is trying to get a date with old girl at locker. Moving on in Jesus washing feet commercial. There we are out on the ranch. Pickup truck back there, boots off, man, feet hurting. That appears to be a vanilla delegation guy with a ponytail washing someone from the Latino Hispanic delegation's feet. Both got their boots off, or could be some broke back mounted. Here we go at sir. No, excuse me. I'm sorry, sir. Ma'am. You clearly read that sign on the signage on the wall. I'm going to read so you don't have to. In front of Family Planning Clinic, there is a vanilla delegation washing another member of the vanilla delegation feet. And I guess they're going to be planning her family, or that lack of thereof. And look around. There's a motel right around the corner, the place where you make the things that go on in the family planning clinic. And we see some families in the back with no kids. Moving right along in the Jesus Wash Feet commercial. Oop, here we go. We have some hood vanilla people. You see what they're showing you now? This is not uncommon for rural America. But as we can see, poor feminist young ladies getting her foot washed, getting her feet washed. And they should probably get up and clean up the place, but fancy that. Why should we be somewhere where we're pumping oil? Here comes a pickup truck down the road, stirring up a little dust, and you're washing feet. Are you using motor oil, or what are you doing washing said young lady's feet out there? Look at the backdrop. Amazing. You can't make this up. Here we go. Let's stop the bus from moving. It's driver's there. He's about to shut the door, letting the homegirl off. But we must wash young feminist feet in the middle of the street where homies can't even play basketball. We see the basketball goal over there. It's not completely dark. And usually from the Negro delegation and vanilla delegation, we know this too, we shoot jumpers where it's kind of dark. So when the light's on, it's just whoosh, whoosh. Anyway, let's wash feet as we get off the bus. I'm thinking those are migrants. Oh, suburban America. Guess what you're doing, vanilla delegation? That's it. I can tell by her headdress that maybe she's from a different country where they have different ways of worshiping, or not. Let's just keep it there. But that's what's going on. That is a refugee, and the vanilla delegation is washing said feet. I think I have no idea. This is at a damn protest. And you see Florida Evans type aggressive chocolate woman washing this tender, who could be chocolate, but I'm going to say she's from Central America's feet as they protest about giving said tax dollars away for this purpose. That said, awkward place to be washing said feet. Moving right along, here we go right here. White man and someone from the chocolate delegation, that'll be black guy, they have 1 foot in said tub together. And I do believe the Bill Russell kind of Negro looking man has his hand on arm. I'm not sure what's going on there. I do see a bottle of wine on the table. See a lazy old dog just relaxing. And they like in the woods in the shade. Strange. But they're not washing feet. They're soaking 1 foot together. Amazing. This was a Super Bowl commercial. You're correct. Here we go right here. Looks like we could be at Venice Beach. Who knows? That could be Cocoa Beach. I don't know what beach it is. I do know this. That is said Vanilla Man. And I don't know if that, I'm going to say that's a pretty tan one. He looked kind of different getting his feet washed. I think, or not, I'm not sure what's going on right here. But I'm thinking that is something actual that they're trying to show us, ladies and gentlemen, because maybe that's a guy, maybe it's not, as a feminine pose, let's put it that way, and look how the toes is up like a lady would. That ain't no lady. That ain't no lady. But wash the feet. Wash those feet. And this is how it ends. Jesus didn't teach hate. I can't say he did. He washed feet. He gets us. Whoa, 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 whoa. You say rewind it? Yes, let's do that. Let's make sure we get this correct. There goes said, ain't no girl. But Jesus didn't teach hate. He washed feet. He gets us, all of us. Remember two things before I end this said bat-ish story. Number one, when they say all of us, they mean all of us. And number two, your place of worship is never going to be the same. Never going to be the same. You probably can thank this Super Bowl ad. That's where we are with that. That is the Agenda 107 right there. Shout out to Club Fortune for stopping by. Says, I mean, they've been playing for years. And that is like, here it is. After I saw that, I was long over the commercials. I didn't watch the game. But let's move right along with said next story, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we wasn't finished with the list. I'm so sorry. I forgot the rest of said list. Let's finish this. We were at the Jesus part of, there we go. We was at number 5. Ended up at number 5. We're going to end at number 5. Let's go on to number 6 real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to speed through these very quickly now. Number 6 was, one of the commentators was singing along to Adele's Rolling in the Deep. That would be, said Tony Romo, who we're not going to even get flagged. But he was singing the way out of the said show. Number 7, Travis Kelce got really intense with Chiefs coach Andy Reid. Sir, this is a shim sham. Watch how Andy Reid throws down the clipboard. What are they trying to tell us? This is all acting.
The fumble. He comes over to Andy. He goes, keep me in. What happened is, on the fumble, he was not in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, unless I am blind somewhere, please show me. Is Andy Reid not throwing down the clipboard? Is this acting? Okay, got a little bump. That's the cue. And he throws down the clipboard. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. That was next on our list. Moving right along, let's get through these. I am so sorry. Moving right along with the list, ladies and gentlemen. Number 8, Number 8 on the list is Las Vegas officials. The Blue Man Group scores a touchdown. That they're symbolizing a little bit something different. Let you figure that out for yourself. Number 9, the 49ers. Number 9, ladies and gentlemen, the 49ers linebacker, Dre Greenlaw, injured his Achilles tendon while jogging onto the field and got taken out of the game. This is another reason why my eyes tell me that something just isn't right. We'll let you take a look, and ladies and gentlemen, to decide for yourself if you did not see this play. This is why I do not even watch the games. It's hard to believe what your eyes are showing you thanks to new technology.
57, Dre Greenlaw. After the stop on the punt return, And he's now in the blue tent, and it doesn't look pretty.
No. And he's had an outstanding year. And that's
Ma'am, sir, I'm missing something here. What did I miss? Okay, there is said number 57. Do your numbers if you want to. Let's take a look without any sound, ladies and gentlemen. There is number 57. All right, number 57, ready to go on. Oh, not time to go yet. Time to go. Let me jump. And I just tore my Achilles tendon. Absolutely amazing, ladies and gentlemen. You can't make this stuff up, or perhaps they are. Just doesn't even make any sense. Moving right along, number 10. Number 10, out of the 13 things you may have missed Super Bowl Sunday, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. ran a really bizarre presidential campaign ad mimicking an ad that his uncle, President RFK, ran in the 1960s. Absolutely amazing. There's a little bit of said ad right there, ladies and gentlemen. Just kind of superimposing over things, changing it up. That ad didn't go too well. We're going to talk about that a little later in said conversation. Number 11 is disturbing. Number 11, ladies and gentlemen, is very disturbing. And I'm going to read so you don't have to. The disclaimer before Usher's halftime show warned against possible relationship issues. Say it ain't so. Now, I've only seen bits and pieces, but here it is, ladies and gentlemen. You tell me, should we be concerned about said halftime show if I were to go back and watch these things?
The Apple Music Administration advises the following performance is rated U. May cause singing, dancing, sweating, gyrating, and possible relationship issues.
Wow. Gyrating, sweating, and possible relationship issues. So if any of y'all watch the Usher halftime show, prepare to get divorced. Prepare to get divorced. According to disclaimer, it may just cause these things.
The Apple Music Administration advises the following performance is rated U. May cause singing, dancing, sweating, gyrating, and...
Say it may cause singing, dancing, sweating, gyrating, and possible relationship issues. Fancy that, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to end up this list, number 12, Alicia Keys didn't exactly nail the opening moment of her halftime appearance. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, so therefore you must show me Alicia Keys for two reasons. Number one, she fine. Number two, I don't believe you. So I'm going to make them prove it to us, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Let's find out, did said Alicia Keys not do her thing?
Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just
want everything. They want everything. I think she missed it. Ladies and gentlemen. But let's just make sure. These are some of the comments. Alicia's first note. I don't think it's going to be nice, so we're just going to pass on that. Number 13 on our list. And after you think all of the strange, get a load of what's going on during the Nickelodeon coverage of the Super Bowl. Nickelodeon is covering the Super Bowl, and this is what you get, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get to you kids some kind of a way, and I think the Super Bowl may have found another loophole. Let's find out about what said thingy things are right there. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
We have LeBron James hanging out with Vin Diesel. And don't forget about Billie Eilish, because she's also here. And let's not forget Herring Styles, because he looks amazing.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I just gave you 13 things that you may find awkward and surprising during the Super Bowl. I found them awkward and surprising. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Remember these two things before I end this story. Number one, the NFL is absolutely desperate for viewership, and they're going through Nickelodeon to help do it. And number 2, Taylor Swift is on cloud 9, and I'm sure Travis Kelce is too. Wish I could be with him. Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, with said business, come on in, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's time for a little political conversation. We just do some things and some early stories while YouTube pushes out the stream. Give the show a try. You just might like it. Why not? You have watched worse things. Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, that Dora the Explorer rose Super Bowl into oblivion, right? Dora has roasted Super Bowl. She made her Super Bowl appearance so they can get to said kids of yours, ladies and gentlemen. But I seen some clips. Said a little quote from the article. Who do we ask for when we need a play-by-play NFL rules? So if you don't know as a kid, you can't ask your father. He's not there. Mom, she may know. He's probably taking a few selfies. So Dora the Explorer is going to help you out, you toddlers and preteens. On Sunday, the NFL taped the famous animated kid adventurer to explain. Oh, excuse me, I read that wrong. On Sunday, the NFL tapped the famous animated kid adventurer to explain the rules of football during Super Bowl. I want to say that's like 54. I don't know what number you're on. Nickelodeon theme broadcast for younger audience. So we have Dora the Explorer. She's going to be explaining all the rules to your kids so they know what's going on. Let's see Dora in action.
Holding is the illegal grabbing of a player who is not in possession of the football in order to gain an advantage. Both offensive or defensive players can be called for holding. Say it with us. Players no holding.
Players no holding.
Players no holding. Fancy that. That is Dora breaking down what a holding call is. As I mentioned, your father's not in the home. Grandpa, he's not respected. And football seems to be a kid's game now, the Super Bowl. Dora's going to help us out. Let's see what else Dora can help us with, ladies and gentlemen.
False start is when an offensive player illegally moves after lining up for, but prior to the snap. Where are we going? Back 5 yards.
Oh.
Why? Because it's a penalty.
That's right, monkey. It isn't a penalty. Offsides, you jump offsides, meaning, okay, you began before the rest of the team began. Therefore, we bring you back 5 yards. Shout out to Dora the Explorer. Well, we won't need referees in professional sports after this, ladies and gentlemen. And I think there's one more Dora sighting to let us know how the game is going. Or perhaps I am wrong. So just remember 2 things before I end this. Number 1, Dora the Explorer is in the game of football now. She is there to educate your kids on how to play the game. You little girls, come on in, get tackled, stiff-armed in the face. And number 2, the NFL is hurting for viewers, so they're coming for your kids too. Is what it is. It's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you don't know, Super Bowl Sunday is a time where politicians usually kind of get a message out. There'll be a lot of eyes on the game, viewers that's not usually politically engaged, and it's an opportunity to talk to them. You can do that through Super Bowl ads, and we can do that through interviews. So if you're wondering, what you talking about, Diddy? We're going to break down some Super Bowl politics on how, number 1, RFK has flopped in front of a national audience, and number 2, on the far right there, Joe Biden has done the same, plus a little more. And Taylor Swift is here to just keep Swiftie Nation and all of us on our moral compass. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen, with the first piece of business that you may or may not know about. Let's get it queued up, and here we go. Did you know Robert F. Kennedy, son of Robert F. Kennedy Sr., apologizes for a controversial $7 million Super Bowl ad? Now, I'm here to tell you, $7 million in the world of politics this early in the game is some useful cash. You can buy some prime slots. NBA All-Star Weekend is coming up. Maybe run an ad at a big MMA fight. But in the first taste of prime time on the big stage, Robert F. Kennedy's commercial flops. What I'm going to do, I'm going to read so you don't have to. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let's get into just a piece of said story. It seems a $7 million Super Bowl ad touting Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s run for president prompted an apology from the independent candidate. Fancy that. How do you run a political ad and then have to apologize for said ad? We're going to show you just in a minute. Now, here's a disclaimer for said RFK Jr. The ad, produced by American Values 2024, a super political action committee, super PACs, not good, backing Kennedy, borrowed heavily from a 1960 spot for his uncle John F. Kennedy, successful presidential bid. It uses the same jingle and co-ops the vintage vibe. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick peek at that to see what's really going on, and hope I don't get hit for it.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through? A man who's old enough to know
And young enough to do.
Well, it's up to you, it's up to you. It's strictly up to you.
American Values 2024 is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
Not only are they responsible for said advertising, they are responsible for this quote here that's coming up in the highlight. Due to the pushback from diehard, I think, progressive and liberals, this is the apology that RFK Jr. had to present. He says, "I'm sorry if the Super Bowl advertisement caused anyone in my family pain," Kennedy wrote. The ad was created and aired by American Values Super PAC without any involvement or approval from my campaign. FEC rules prohibit Super PACs from consulting with me or my staff. I love you. God bless you all. So pretty much he's having to allegedly apologize for what his Super PAC or Super PAC that's supporting him ran on Super Bowl Sunday. But keep this in mind. If he has to apologize for a simple commercial like that, his hopes are done, which they are anyway. He has no legitimate chance of even beating Biden. RFK Jr. couldn't beat Biden. He has no chance with Donnie J. But remember two things before I end this story. Number one, the power of the legacy media and the left machine is fierce. When they don't see something that they like, they know how to attack it. And number two, I have a better chance than Robert F. Kennedy Jr. becoming president of the United States. I have a better chance of becoming 47 than RFK, or just as well give me the money and let me put it together a campaign and pocket some of it. That's what he's going to do. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We are warming up in said show tonight. Shout out to Quinn for coming by. Thank you very, very, very much. Club Fortune says, RFK Jr. independent ploy was, yes, it's over. Abort mission. Abort mission. It is absolutely over. Now, here's something that you may or may have not seen because it ran before the Super Bowl. So if you're wondering, what you talking about, Whoa Diddy? Talking about Joe Biden and his absolute lame message to the American people at a time where pocketbooks are thin and people are absolutely hurting. Now, We're going to hear from the horse.
The Super Bowl Sunday. If you're anything like me, you like to be surrounded by a snack. The Super Bowl Sunday. If you're anything like me, you like to be surrounded by a snack or two while watching the big game. You know, when buying snacks for the game, you might have noticed one thing.
Somehow I may have blown that, ladies and gentlemen. How did I blow that? I think I loaded said wrong clip. No, I did not. Let's load that clip up, ladies and gentlemen, because it's that important for not only the show, just for you to get a sense of where Joe Biden is in his mind. I've made a pre-recorded video about it, and I hope I didn't delete the source material, which I don't think I did. Let's rewind that just to make sure.
The Super Bowl Sunday. If you're anything like me, you like to be surrounded.
Yeah, I do believe I messed that up. It's okay because I've already made a pre-recorded video. Pretty much what's going on in this segment, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of the president talking about what the country needs economically, what's going on, war, peace, and all these things, he took the time to talk about inflation through shrinkflation, meaning the size of potato chips, cookies, and his favorite ice cream. Now, 2018, Donnie J decided he didn't want to do a Super Bowl interview. Okay, you can dig that. But he did it one before. This man decides he's not going to do an interview because he can't do an interview, and it's getting a little shameful. He's going to be on the show again tomorrow, so we're going to let you rest a little bit. Joe Biden. Here's something that you might want to know. Meta turns is back on politics again, angering some news creators. And those news creators would be on said left side of the fence, because if you're on the right side of the fence, it is hard sledding. But here's a little something that you may be interested in. Since Meta announced on Friday it would stop proactively recommending political content on Instagram or its upstart tech-based app Threads. So on Instagram and Threads, you're not going to see a lot of campaign ads as you normally, unless that's something that you look for. Once upon a time, Zuckerberg and the machine put them in front of your face. So if you're a young lady and all you pretty much watch is hair, nails, or travel, not picking on you, just saying that's what you watch, you're not going to get a lot of political ads. Goes on to say the company said it would also show users posts focus on laws, elections, or social issues from accounts that users don't follow. So the company is not going to show other users laws, things about elections, unless they following that type of information, which is going to be huge for the Biden campaign, because he need everybody to make. If you're following campaigns and the campaign and the mental status of the president, you know where I'm going with that. Meta said users will still be able to see political related posts in their main feed from accounts they follow. As I mentioned, Hakeem, who is wanting to be a barber, he's not looking at a lot of political stuff. Looking at haircuts, hip hop, fashion, and that things. Or it could be Janie, and Janie's an African-American woman who's studying to be a nurse. She's not paying attention to politics right now, so therefore it's not going to be in her face as she follow those creators. So that's a little something that I would bring to you because it's interesting, and it's going to affect the campaign of Joe Biden and how he's being perceived in the media, because there was once upon a time you couldn't really talk about him on YouTube without getting yellows. They've opened up the floodgates for us to talk ish about him, and that's just what I'm going to do. Here's something else that I find interesting. Bob Costas. That's what we're talking about. Bob Costas knocks Biden's hubris campaign, says he must be shown the door. Now, I don't know if you've been keeping score. Bob Costas has nothing nice to say about Donnie J. I'm going to tell you again for the progressive delegation that's way back there yelling at me. Bob Costas is not a Republican. Bob Costas cannot stand Donnie J. Trump. But here is something amazing. On Friday, Bob Costas was a guest on Real Time with Bill Maher, and he had some remarkable things to say about the election and his opinions on the incumbent president, Joe Biden. I'm going to read so you don't have to, so rest your eyes. Emmy-winning sportscaster Bob Costas knocked on the president's hubris campaign on Friday, saying the commander-in-chief should be shown the door. As the 2024 election gears up to be another likely showdown between Donnie J and Biden. I thought that was absolutely amazing that side of the fence is actually coming out and critiquing a president who is struggling in the polls. Costas goes on to say, Costas suggested it's not a wise idea to make Biden the Democratic nominee. Amazing. I know what you're thinking. The same thing I would be thinking. Prove it, Walt Diddy. We're going to do it right here. We're going to do it right here, right now. Right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. Let's take a listen to what Bob Costas had to say, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get that loaded up for you. We're going to break it down, set together. I am off on my load-up game. Very, very bad. My load-up game is not what it normally is, but here it is right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to it.
When it comes to Biden, this is like the truth that no one until very recently wants to say out loud. But my friends will tell you I've been saying it for 4 years. This is Emperor's New Clothes stuff. Joe Biden should have run on a firm promise that he would be a one-term president. The only reason he is president is that he's not Donald Trump. Then the Dems could have gotten a lot of people up in the bullpen, and they could have sorted through those people. If Biden's hubris is such that he doesn't understand the best interest of his party and, more important, his country, then he has to be shown the door, period.
Wow. Wow. Bob Costas says, well, Reverend Al won't tell you, that Joy Reid, CNN, none of them will tell you, but they're all thinking in secret, and they really want to say out loud. As a matter of fact, let's rewind this one more time so you don't think I messed anything up or I tampered. This is from Real Time with Bill Maher this past Friday. That is NBC's finest, Bob Costas, Emmy award-winning journalist, covered the Olympics. He's had some of the best interviews in the world. Once again, he's on Real Time with Bill Maher, and he's being asked a question about Joe Biden. Should he run? What's going on with Joe? What's going on with the campaign? This is his reply, ladies and gentlemen.
When it comes to Biden, this is like the truth that no one until very recently wants to say out loud. But my friends will tell you I've been saying it for 4 years. This is Emperor's New Clothes stuff. Joe Biden should have run on a firm promise that he would be a one-term president. The only reason he is president is that he's not Donald Trump. Then the Dems could have gotten a lot of people up in the bullpen, and they could have sorted through those people. If Biden's hubris is such that he doesn't understand the best interest of his party and, more important, his country, then he has to be shown the door, period.
He has to be shown the door. I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly, slowly but surely, that's what's happening. Slowly but surely, those that's in power on the left is showing President Joe Biden the door, and my prediction that Michelle Obama will be put on the ticket. That's right, Barry O's wife, Michelle Obama, will be on the presidential ticket versus Donnie J. I made that prediction on this show. This is how it's all coming to pass. Who would ever thought? Who would ever thought that Bob Costas, who cannot stand Donald J. Trump, will come out and say President Joe Biden would have to be shown the door, that his campaign is full of hubris? Bob Costas says, hey, Joe Biden, your campaign is full of hubris. You can't get them. Sir, you don't understand. You must be shown the door. Remember these two things before we leave this story. Number one, Joe Biden will not be the Democratic nominee for president of the United States. How the switcheroo is going to come between him and Michelle Obama, I'm not sure yet, but expect it to happen. And number two, Bob Costas and the elitist leftist media want Joe Biden gone. Want Joe Biden gone. Hit the thumbs up button and help me later. Hit the thumb button. You know what I'm trying to say. I get excited. That's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. This time is up. Shout out to Queena. She gave me some fire. Big up to Carlito for coming in the house. Club says, Bob is saying nothing new. And the voices of David Axelrod. I am not finished yet. I'm not finished yet, ladies and gentlemen. You're wondering, what you talking about, Walt Diddy? James Carville. James Carville is another one on the train along with Bob Costas, David Axelrod, and a lot of other prominent left-leaning figures are doubting Joe. They are starting to doubt Joe in a record number, ladies and gentlemen, to where it is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Here is the latest piece right here that I want you to take a look at. This is from Fox News via MSNBC, and we can clearly see it right there. James Carville says Biden skipping Super Bowl interview is a sign. No other way to read this. Now, if you don't know James Carville, he was instrumental, one of the ones that helped William Jefferson Clinton get elected president. I've not been no Epstein Island, and I didn't have sex without a woman. Well, maybe once. And he played the saxophone allegedly on Arsenio Hall. Let's see what James Carville has to say that's been around Democrat politics a long time, and he knows the game. I'm going to read so you don't have to. Legendary political strategist James Carville argued Sunday that the White House has little confidence in President Biden after he turned down a Super Bowl interview. That's right. He turned down interview. They want president to come in, find out what's on his mind, world politics, blah, blah, blah. Joe Biden's camp says no. James Carville says, hey, the White House, which is its own entity, we're going to talk about that on the show, but the White House and the people behind Joe Biden have little confidence. Little. Not a lot. Little. Moving on into the story, ladies and gentlemen, we find out that Biden recently declined to take part in the Super Bowl interview for the second year in a row. For the last 2 years, it's okay to skip a year. Listen, millions of people, the world is watching that game, the commercials, the interviews. This is the second year in a row, and we would all agree that this year his mental capacities has diminished since last year. So it's the second year in a row that he says, nope, don't want your interview. Don't you call me no damn more. Here's what's important. The interview is generally seen as a way for the president to connect with massive audience that doesn't usually watch politics. Maybe they go vote, but they don't watch it on a day-to-day basis, may not be hip to what's on the president's mind. And that paragraph ends by saying, last year, the Super Bowl between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philly Eagles had 115 million viewers. You're down in the polls. You're losing chocolate African-American supporters, your key bases, and Donnie J is surging, but you say, no, I'm not going to take said interview. Here's a quote from James Carville. He said, it's the biggest television audience. Not even close. And you get a chance to do a 20 to 25 minute interview on that day. Carville, who knows political strategy, like, whoa, this is a great opportunity for a 20 to 25 minute interview. A lot of softballs thrown my way so that I can knock them out of the park. And to the biggest television audience that you will receive in one sitting this rest of this campaign. And he says no. Jim Carville also says, and you don't do that, that's a kind of sign that the staff or yourself doesn't have too much confidence in you. Oh, Jimmy saying, listen here, the staff and or Biden, if not the latter, don't have confidence in themselves. Fancy that. He says there's no other way to read this. No other way to read it than Biden is falling off his rocker. And that comes from someone that was huge in Democrat politics, Jim Clyburn. Here he is right here. Now, to add insult to injury, during the interview, Jim said this about the potential challenger of Joe, one Donnie J. Trump. Listen closely.
What I am obsessed with is stop treating him like he is a normal candidate, that this is some kind of Bob Dole, Mitt Romney. This is really not, Ari. And, the polling was accurate in Iowa. It was actually accurate in 2022. People just substituted their own judgment for the numbers that were sitting right in front of them. But
and ladies and gentlemen, you heard what James said. That Joe and maybe Bob Costas is correct with his hubris. You think Donnie J is just somebody coming off the street. You think Donnie J is a geek off the street, that he's not been there, done that before, and he's showing otherwise with these huge, massive rallies. The more that's being thrown on him, this kind of just falls to the wayside and he blows up. But ladies and gentlemen, what say you? What say you? Does James Clyburn, have a point? Does James know what he's talking about in politics? Should they be very concerned about Donnie J? Did Joe Biden miss a huge opportunity not to do a Super Bowl commercial? Well, let me tell you why he did not. What would they talk about? Ice cream? He did a message where he told us about shrinkflation of potato chips and ice cream. And that 20 to 25 minute interview is just too much time for him to make huge mistakes that couldn't be edited around and or be asked difficult questions that would put in to light perhaps his character as an old man and or his true beliefs. So remember these two things before we end the story. Number one, Joe Biden and tough doo-doo. He in some deep doo-doo. How he pulls himself up in the polls, the elites, those in the black church, the rock stars, entertainers, no one is coming out and campaigning. And we are almost in March. So what's going on there? Are we conceding defeat? I'm thinking that Michelle Obama is coming to save the day. And number two, life's a movie. And Walt Diddy just brought this story to you. So hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. It would be great. What say you? That is my little bit of information I had set up for Sunday, but it was the big game yesterday. So I said, we'll just do a show Monday. You can usually catch me Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays going forward. And if something of value comes up, I'll do a show accordingly, but that's usually when they're going to catch me. I think it's over for Joe. I don't know how he battles back from this situation. And I don't understand YouTube either. Like in the last, let's call it 90 days, I probably had 500 new subscribers. I don't reach them when I do live streams? I don't know. I'm thinking it's 3 different algorithms. One for shorts, one for pre-recorded videos, and one for live. And they're all working independently of each other. We'll figure that out down the road sooner or later. That I can promise you. The time is 9:44 in the PM. I hope you are doing well wherever you are. That concludes. Shout out to you, Big Pontiac. Didn't see you, bro. Shout out to you for coming through. I really, really appreciate it. Got to light up Club Fortune again. Where you at? Club Shout out to Club Fortune for being one of the best members of this channel. Appreciate your support. We are growing on one side and perhaps not. If you're not getting notifications, that is possible. Stop by. I am uploading content every day. Stop by, smash the like button. And if you're watching the replay, thank you very much. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, come by, give the show a chance. Why not? Why not? You're watching worse. I am sure of that. Thank you very, very, very much. Hope you are having a great, great night. If not, rewind this live stream and it will get better. I promise you that. Listen, let me encourage you before you go. Tomorrow is a new day. What happened today is soon behind you. Think positive, do positive things, and just believe in yourself because you are worthy. Remember these two things. Number one, you are very, very special. And number two, I'll be back tomorrow, my regular scheduled time. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. See you manana.
That way, that way, that way, that way, that way. So can I give it to you that way? That